good morning, everybody. Hold on, let me make sure these other things are metered really quick. Test the sound. All right, sound working well. There we go. All right. Good morning, Fabin, Mark, Pun, Vmont, Skynet. What's up, brother? Elizabeth Jane. Good morning. All right, so yeah, I'm watching GameStop. GameStop is actually gapping up. I really do think that GameStop is obsolete. I think GameStop is inevitably going to go out of business. I think that the online space is taking over the gaming world. Listen, I love video games. I play video games, and I'm pretty sure GameStop is going to eventually go out of business. And so, if there was any stock where I would be pretty confident in this thing just continuing to head down, it would be GameStop. But GameStop is gapping up today. Let's see why GameStop is gapping up. Maybe good earnings. Like I said, though, I'm pretty confident that GameStop is a dying breed. It is a outdated retail store. Hold on. It's just like books where the need for it is becoming unnecessary and it's obsolete to a certain extent. All right, so it looks like it was bought out. All right, GameStop shares jumped 12% in pre-market after the WSJ reports a buyout deal for the video game and electronics retailer could be announced by mid-February. So PE firms and Sycamore Partners and Apollo Global Management are bidding for the company. Somebody told WSJ. They reported a decline in revenue in 4 of the past 5 years. So yeah, like I said, declining revenue in 4 out of 5 years. I think it's definitely an obsolete company. Maybe I'm biased because they would always rip me off when I would turn my games in there, but I think it's a dying breed. I think that any game store, unless it's like an old school retro game store, is an obsolete store, an unnecessary store. And I think that gaming is ultimately going to transition towards to downloading online, to where you just download all your games online off of the internet. And now there's some benefits to keeping physical copies of your games, but I think the drawbacks are too big. Hey, let's hope you're right, man. What's up, Skynet? What's up, brother? Netron, Two Way, Bamboo, RSA, Algero, Netron. What's up, Bill? Joseph? Stock futures were indicating a sharply higher Wall Street open after a negative session Thursday, pulled lower by Apple and global growth fears. Two Way. Yeah, you'll do all right, Two-Way. You're usually pretty good. What's up, Danny Jack? Good morning, man. All right, we should have Mitch here today. I know he's coming here. Wait, where did my... All right, let me find what I was looking for. My electric cigarette is gone. I need my morning nicotine. I'll be right back, guys. Right back. Okay, buddy, hold on. Sorry, my son's yelling at me. What's up, James? Good morning, man. Bamboo, Jevy. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. All right, what's up, Clay? So here's the thing, Bamboo. So I see you saying long play on AMD, right? So I actually had some back testing results for the last few months come out. These were my results, okay? These were my results. Really, this is from October 15th to January 4th. All right, so I did some back testing yesterday. I actually went over it in class. Let me just cancel this out. Let me see where the results I got. So this is actually the old results before I did another 2 weeks. So let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Here, I'm going to start over. Let me try to get all of this in one window. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Alright, so that looks like 27. I might have been missing some, but 27 success. I thought I did these yesterday. Let's count the fails. Alright, hold on, buddy. 1 second. And then 0 means it failed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so we had 27 successes and 10 failures of the strategy that I was using with AMD. And let's see what percentage this gives us. That would be 27 out of 37. So that'd be 73% accuracy. And so we had 27 successes and 10 failures. So that gave us 73% accuracy rate. 72.97 to be exact. Okay, hold on, buddy. All right, I'll be right back, guys. But yeah, I'll explain that strategy in a second. It's solely with AMD, and it's the gap in crap strategy is what it is. So hold on 1 second. Yeah. All right, so yeah, very interesting results there. All right. All right, so yeah, I hope everybody saw that. Like, AMD, with a very specific strategy, had a 73% accuracy rate in the last 2.5 months or so. This is from October 15th to January 4th, which is today. And this is what happened. Really, it's January 3rd. I should probably correct that. And I should have saved this last night as well after I did it so I don't lose it. There we go. So yeah, this is for the range breakout. All right. And what this essentially is you look for a gap on AMD that's over 20 cents, and then you trade it in the opposing direction once it breaks the high or low of that move. And so in this case, it was a gap down on AMD, and so the next morning we would try to go long, And we would try to get the equivalent of the length of the first candle. And we get in once it breaks the high. So we would take profits here. And it's just a 1-to-1 trade, but it's got a high accuracy. And that's how you do it. And there's a success. Let's see. If you keep going back in time, you'll see it works very, very consistently. Here's a down gap. You would try to get the equivalent of the first candle. And that would be about up here. And so there's another success. You keep moving back. I think this is a failure, so that's 1 failure, 2 successes. But then when it doesn't gap up over 20 cents like this, where it's break even, then I just skip it. Here's a gap down. Yeah, here. There you go. But yeah, that's the strategy I'm looking at. It showed pretty promising results for back testing, as you can see. 73% accuracy rate. That was only on AMD, though. And, I mean, we'll see what we get here. I mean, it is gapping up over 20 cents today. If this strategy... If we were looking to trade this strategy, I'm not going to trade it with real money yet. I want to paper trade it for a while first, just to make sure it's viable. But I'm looking at this one now. It is gapping up over 20 cents on AMD. And so if this was the case, I would look for it to break the low, and it'd be a short play. Alright, we got Mitch here. We got Mitch in the stream. Yo, what's up, brother?
What's going on, trader?
There we go. Alright, guys, we got Mitch here.
What's the deal, trader? Hey, echoes. No, it's my.
Yeah, I was like, I hear two Mitch. I hear two of Mitch. Alright. Appreciate the sub, Gus. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it.
No, I was listening to you on my phone. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, last night's class was really interesting. I mean, the backtesting results were really interesting.
Yeah, man. I know.
And AMD's gapping up over 20 cents today, so I'm kind of looking at it. I know it had really good results before, and so it's just about what it does today. If the strategy works today, it will be a short play. And so I'll be watching it for sure. Salty says, what do you guys use to back test? So it's very simple. So for each strategy we use, I create a success and a failure point, right? So it's really easy to test. Like I create a success and a failure point of that strategy. And then I just kind of go back in time, day after day, tally up when it was successful, tally up when it failed, and then give myself that accuracy percentage after I'm done. And like I said, so far with this last strategy I've been back testing, I've only gotten about 2.5 months in, but it's really easy to test. And you can see, like, if it's a success, I just tally it a 1. If it fails, I tally it 0, and then add those up. Gives me a certain amount of successes and failures. Excuse me, guys. And then it gives me the accuracy rate, which in this case, in 2.5 months of this strategy, on AMD specifically, it had a 73% accuracy rate. So, not bad. Pretty good. It's only a 1-to-1 trade, so you do want to consider that. It doesn't... the way you trade it is you give yourself the equivalent of 1-to-1 on each one. And so, no pun intended. So, yeah. Look at all the fades on HTZ yesterday. This thing had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fades. All right, Mitch, you excited to trade, brother?
Oh, without a doubt, bro. I'm already just trying to set up, make sure everything's all good.
It's so
Um,
cold in my house right now.
and man, ready to step up in sizing.
Yep.
No fear. Trying to finish off the week using that kind of 500, 600 level and moving to the 800 share level pretty
Yeah.
soon.
I'm gonna be moving up to 500. Um, so what do you think about GameStop, man? I was talking about it a little bit earlier. I think GameStop is obsolete. I think it's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary retail store, and I think the gaming market is transitioning towards downloads online, to where nobody's gonna need to go to GameStop anymore. And now I think some people are always gonna like using physical copies of games, but I think if there's any company prior to this, it just got bought out. But if there's any company I liked with a long-term short bias, it would be GameStop.
Yep, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
um,
Steam as well for sure, Sid. Sorry, brother. What were you saying?
no, I mean, at the end of the day, you're right in your opinion there. Um, you know, it's something that's it's not only going to happen to GameStop. It's just about pretty much any brick and mortar retail kind of strategy, yeah, business model. Those are the ones you want to start looking at and seeing if they actually can keep up their revenues and keep up their customers even coming in. You
Yeah,
look
it's
at
kind of
overall customer count, I'm sure you'll see it's kind of a dying thing, with the technology of, having Amazon that, can send it out in 2 days, get you it in 2 days, or you can just download the games. There's
right,
so many different ways to get the games now. Um, they even have it at a Redbox.
right.
I don't know if you know Redbox. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys have them over there, but
yeah, for sure.
now you can. GameStop doesn't even do kind of midnight openings anymore.
They
They
don't.
don't want to. Nope, they don't do any midnight openings anymore. They just didn't see the value in paying their employees
Right,
past that hour. And what they realized is that they didn't want to be open, and now Redbox does midnight uh, kind of releases, and you can get them right off of a machine, right on the side of a gas station, probably.
right, for
And
sure. I
so
mean,
there's really no need for the store itself anymore. The
yeah,
only thing that's been holding them up is, like you say, ripping off used
right.
games.
Oh, 100%. And that's what I have a pet peeve with GameStop about that. And the best the best kind of thing I can relate GameStop to is like Barnes and Noble. And I think Barnes and Noble's cool and everything, and I think people are always gonna like going to bookstores and reading, but I still think it's a dying business model, and that, like somebody said, when Amazon dips their toes in your pond, you better watch out, man, because it's a dying breed. And I think definitely Barnes and Noble, GameStop, I think brick and mortar retail stores are ultimately going to pass, just like just as technology is getting better and better.
One's
Steam
going to
is.
be
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, just jumping off another topic. One that I've heard about that's been hit as recently is Dick's Sporting Good. Dick's Sporting Good getting hit recently just because,
DKS.
yeah, they supposedly are going to go ahead and take out all their kind of their guns out and not sell guns anymore, essentially. Um, so the NRA and associations are kind of boycotting Dick's Sporting Good and coming out with bad PR for them.
Hmm. Interesting.
So it's interesting.
Squarespace is up as well. DB. But the tech stocks kind of had a red day with Apple yesterday. Apple was kind of the big mover from yesterday. Even though it was about break even, it was kind of sideways move. It ended up closing down, but I think that was causing all the other tech stocks to flush down.
And I mean,
Yes.
I feel like my view on the overall market is still dead on. I think today we're finally going to get above those levels of 251, and we're going to make a move towards that 260. Um, I'm actually looking forward towards that move to 260. Closer we get to 260, I'm gonna be looking probably to go ahead and buy a put option back down to those 230s. The ideal situation is for it to be kind of making that move towards 260, so that there's some investors thinking that this is going back to the 280s and then attack this on the way down closest to my risk, which would be right above that 260.
Right. Yeah, I could see it. Somebody's asking what Steam is. Steam is like a it's like an online marketplace for games where you buy the games, they host the games, and you play the games on your computer. So it's like an online digital marketplace for games. But yeah,
A
Team
daily chart
Fortress.
that's interesting, a stock that we haven't traded much, but the daily chart is still very interesting, is WPM. This is one that's going to be on watch for me. Um, it could break out long. You know, the daily chart has it pretty good on the long side, but it's definitely an interesting chart. One to watch if it gets momentum and blows to those 20s.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could see it. Got some a little bit of resistance above it, but curious to see where that one goes as well.
Yeah, some
Somebody,
big volume like it did on the first day that it gapped. It could get some drive, you know.
yeah, for sure.
The stock did have some good catalyst news, and next resistance level would be up there to 2120s. So,
Somebody talking about NVAX here gapping up some. It's I doubt it's tradable for me. It had a big move yesterday, really, and in pre-market this morning. We can look it up to see why NVAX is gapping like it is. But somebody also mentioned AMD. Like I said, I mean, with since I just got done back testing that specific strategy on AMD, I guess I'm short biased with it. At least I'm short biased for the first 15 minutes or so. What it does after that, have no idea. I just know in the first 15 minutes with that range breakout on AMD specifically, that gap and fail strategy, it had a 73% accuracy rate. And so now's the day to watch AMD to see if it does that as well. All right, so NVAX jumped on positive mid-stage data for the vaccine treating flu in adults. Um, it says all formulations of the nano flu vaccine were well tolerated. The company said they are to meet with the U.S. FDA in H1 of 2019 to discuss the mid-stage study data, the proposed late-stage trial design, and the use of accelerated approval for license for NanoFlu, their vaccine. Yeah, so positive data for NVAX here. We'll see where it goes. Like I said, a little too cheap for me to really want to toy with, and most likely not tradable for me, but legitimate news. All right, so this week hasn't been that bad for me so far. 3 green, 1 red, and so currently 75% accuracy this week. We'll see what we get today. What's up, Abdul? Good morning, man. Hold it down, Mitch. I'll be right back.
all right, no stress. All right, let me catch up with the chat, see what's going on here. So how's everybody out there? You got your yearly goals for 2019? All right, guys, going to be watching NBEV to see if it can break down through five. Some of the cannabis stocks. See if we get a rejection today through five. There you go, Skynet. Good luck to you, Skynet. Definitely, just make that complete trading plan. And if you're ready to go ahead and get into the sharks, get into the pool with the sharks, go ahead and get ready. Follow your plan, stick to it, and you'll be able to come out profitable. Two-way trader. I agree with you. I agree with you. But not only do I want to survive in 2019, I want to go ahead and thrive. I think you should too, two-way trader. It's time to step away from that survival mode and time to get into that thriving mode. Really happy to hear that, Sid. We love to kind of always attack the trading approach. We don't try to be gurus and tell you that we know a pattern that's better than yours. What we do is try to teach you that it's complete trading plans and trading approach that is really going to take your trading to the next step. If you want to evolve into that consistent traders, you have to go ahead and start taking that consistent approach, systematical, and that way you can get mathematical advantage. Skynet, do I invest with my long-term interest? Yeah, I mean, one of the key things that I've been trying to get more and more into is kind of establishing option strategies. I've done my research a little bit as I have a finance background, and I know my ins and outs on options. It's just more along going to be learning on how to exactly implement a strategy and stay to it. I like selling options. I think premium is where you have to attack, and this is where you can
Yo.
What happened there, Salty? What the heck? This chat window was another streamer's channel.
Oh.
I don't know what happened there.
So basically, you're saying you're cheating on us. You're cheating on us, two-way. I get it,
Hey,
bro. I get it. It
hey,
hurts,
Sid.
man.
I'm
It
I'm
hurts,
glad
brother.
you were able to use that risk and reward main lesson. And definitely, if you do get a chance, go ahead and join us in the class. This is exactly what we focus on, and we would love to take you to that next level. Really happy that you're starting to find consistency and change your strategy, and looking forward to maybe hearing more about you, Sid.
Yeah, for sure, man. I know Sid's kind of eating it up, man, and that's what you need to do. Like risk and reward is the number one thing in trading that nobody else talks about. Like nobody else talks about risk and reward. They may talk about profit loss and stuff like that, but like risk and reward is where it's at. Like that's what you need to focus on. Like if that should be your base, and building the plan should be your base. Right, for sure, Richard. I mean, I don't sell options for that reason. Like, I try to stick away from selling options just because, it's one of those things where, for sure, it's one of those things where it's like, if you've ever heard of the martingale blackjack strategy, right? The martingale blackjack strategy. The basic premise is that you double your bet size each hand until you have a winner, right? And so in that case, you would have to lose 6 times in a row in order to not be profitable and actually lose money. And the problem with that is that while the large majority of the time you're profitable doing that, the one or two times that you're going to lose are going to completely wipe you out. And I feel like that is a good kind of thing to compare to selling
I mean,
options.
I think you're right there, but I think you're right when it's somebody that doesn't know how to use options.
Right.
If you really know how to use options, there should be a lot of the times where it's not that you're taking all the risk. You should have an ability to either roll out to a further time, kind of get into a further time option, giving your options more time. And what you're attacking when you're selling options is what we call premium. You're essentially just trying to get yourself into better positions by using the premium in your options. If you guys can look into resources like Tasty Trade that do this exact kind of trading mentality, and I think it's definitely profitable. I mean, at least I've done it multiple times, and you definitely can profit by selling premium. Um, if 90% of them are going to expire worthless, then I think that's kind of, at least from my side, where I would want to be. And then it's all about learning how to kind of use option strategies, like kind of what we call, you can do a range option play. Let's say if it option went against you, you can end up doing a different option where you're getting the range that's against you. And so you'll be able to take some of that premium that you make in that trade to cover the premium that you lost. I think there's definitely strategies there. I think if you really look into options, naked calls and naked puts is not where it's at. It's learning how to mitigate risk and have an ability to use option strategy to do what they call hedging. Hedging your bet is the best way to go in options, and you're going to be able to limit your risk and take smaller profit, but at least more consistent profit.
For
You know,
sure. Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, options are kind of getting bigger and bigger. The real question is do you know how to price options? I think that's really what you need to find out. If you don't know how to price options, you can really get yourself into kind of a world of pain because you're taking options that are just being sold at a premium.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph, we're looking at AMD or we're looking at NVAX. Yeah, I mean, options is something I still have to look into. I mean, I do buy put options a lot, and I like it because I have a very defined risk. My risk is only what I pay for the option, and my reward is not unlimited, but it's usually bigger than ultimately what you pay for the option if you pick the right option. And so that's kind of what I like. But like I said, I'm not super well versed in options, and it's something I'm still learning for sure. All right, guys, we have about 2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes. So good luck, all. Let's see what we get today. VKTX popping up on the scanners here. Let's get the intraday. Oh, we still got about 2 minutes. I'll put them up in about a minute or so. But yeah, GameStop had buyout news or rumors. Tiva gapping up some. SPY is gapping up nicely here. SPY ended down yesterday. And I think I'm more inclined for a dip today. Who knows though? But I feel like I'm more inclined for at least an initial drop at the open this morning. Oil up 2%. Yeah, I mean, I traded an oil play PBR yesterday. I think it was an oil play. Maybe not. I know it was a Brazilian stock. UXIN gapping up. MU, PPR, DUST, NBEV, TIVA, DBVT, AMD, Cron. A lot of stuff gapping up with the market today. Why am I inclined that we're going to get an initial dip, Richard? Just because the SPY is up a lot in pre-market, and I think that we're going to get some shorters in maybe covers coming in at the open. I think it may rebound after that. I just think we're going to get an initial dip, but it's all speculation. You know, one thing I've realized is that you never really know which way it's going to head, especially like the shorter term you trade, the less you really know which way it's going to head. The daily chart looks kind of bearish as well. It looks like it could pull back to the 240s, but who knows? Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking as well, Jack. But like I said, who knows, man? Who really knows? All right, guys, we got 20 seconds. Let me pull the intraday scanners up here. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, we got 10 seconds. All right, we got the intraday trade idea scans up. There's the bell. Good luck all. All right, let's check out the strategy on AMD while we're here. Let's see what we get.
Tank.
Yep. Which is what the strategy says. We got to wait for that first 1 minute to form, but that's kind of what we get with it. It's just falling stock. FLKS popping up on the scanners. Some penny stocks. All right, we get a little bit of a rebound here. So from 47 up to 67, that's 20 cents. All right, so that first candle's 20 cents. So our goal would be down to 27. Like I said, it was surprising how accurate this strategy was when we back tested it. All right, we got GME dropping. Like I said, I got to paper trade this up. I'm not going to trade it with real money yet. All right, we got some dropping in the SPY. And it looks like it may fail here. Who knows? Squeezing up. Yep, it would have. Glad I didn't take it. Still want to. I have to paper trade some here.
Slow open. Not seeing that much volume.
I'm not either, really. We got PBR kind of moving down. MU moving up with AMD. We have Cron kind of just sitting here. No volume. SPY's choppy right now, so it's just kind of sideways action. But a lot of stuff is just sideways. Tiva dropping some. TEVA.
Yeah, I was watching that one.
Yeah, it was just a weird first minute on AMD. But yeah, this would have been one of the ones that the strategy didn't work because it would have stopped you out up here. But look at all the wicks. Down wick, up wick, doji candle. DBVT. Yeah, I was watching that one yesterday. I didn't really have it on my watch list today. Let's see it. But it's a gap up. It's an oil stock, correct? I can't remember what this one is. Yeah, we might get a gap and go for AMD.
All right, looking at WPM here.
PBR, look at that drop. Right now, it just depends on what the SPY does, on what AMD does. Like, if the SPY continues to push here, AMD should continue to push up as well. Hold on, buddy. You gotta let the iPad charge, okay? I'm looking at Tiva here. Hold on, buddy.
All right, I'm looking at it would be WPM on 42 off of 47, 5 cent risk. Come on, come back. Bounce to me. Might get a tank right here, guys.
You looking
You
at
see?
WPM?
Yeah, man. Just never gave me a chance. Hasn't bounced.
You still got some room though. I mean, I'm looking at
Yeah, I'm
PBR
waiting
here.
for it.
GME with the washout long. GameStop. All right, so I'm looking at PBR here. If it gets up to 42, where's risk? Risk would have to be at 50 or so. Well, no, I mean 48, 6 cent risk. About a 12 cent reward. So that looks good for PBR if it can get up there.
You could look at maybe APHA.
I mean, right now I'm looking at PBR with the 48 risk. 12 cent reward. So 6 cent risk, 12 cent reward, 2 to 1. But it just depends on what the market does. The spot's kind of choppy right now. Tiva faked out a fade, so got to be careful with some of these moves here.
Yep, I agree.
BOXL. SPY pushing up. And I'm looking at PBR here. I mean, it looks good. Tight risk.
It's not bad. This.
Yeah, just never quite got there. NIO pushing. A lot of stuff moving up. Yeah, I mean, Tiva faked out a fade. And so it makes me a little bit more hesitant when this does this. It just depends on what the SPY does. I want the SPY to pick a direction. We do have some resistance at 248.12 or so. And 248.50 on the SPY. And so we'll see if we get some rejection there and then follow through on the other direction for like TVIX or UVXY. Still though, with these being volatility ETFs, they're choppy and sideways as well. Spready too. All right, SPY's testing that whole dollar of 248 now. AG popping up. Yeah, so I'm kind of watching PBR. I mean, it had a few fades yesterday, but we'll see if we get one today. Just got to get up to 41 at least for a tight risk. About 2 to 1 still. Pull back on the SPY. We should start getting a pullback on some of these other ones as well. A few people talking about Voxel, DVAX.
WPM just playing games. I mean, that I didn't want to take it there in the 35s. Was expecting a move towards 40, and then that curl down. Looks like it's about to get hit there in 1925s.
Yeah, I don't know if PBR is going to get up there or not. No, it's the. I mean, I understand 50 cents. I'm not in PBR, but I understand 50 cents. I would probably use the high of the day right here at 48. If it breaks that high of the day, it's going to start testing 50. And so you use 48. Previously, the entry would have been 42 here. Your risk would be down here at 30. And so your risk is about 6 cents. Your reward is about 12. So it's 2 to 1 for PBR. It's just about whether it can really get up there or not. The longer it kind of hangs out up here, the less I like it. And the more the SPY pushes up, the less I like it. It is an oil stock, I believe. Let me make sure. See what PBR is. Where's my phone? There it is.
And Muta got bought up at 32. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's a gas company. Brazilian gas company for PBR.
And you got that right, Isaac. Bulls in control. The Bulls are in control.
Yeah, there's 41 on PBR. Like I said, though, with the SPY pushing up, I don't think I like it. Yeah, look at CCCL go. Big move. Big percentage move. Up 40 cents, 45 cents since the open. Look at UXIN. Big drop for UXIN. It's kind of going away from the market.
Yeah, just not tradable anymore.
Is it?
They took it off. Hey, we missed that one plenty of times.
Yeah.
Can't really be mad at them.
Yeah. I mean, the volume slowed. That's why they took it off.
Yeah, and it had great moves already, so can't get mad at them. Looks like a 90 EMA bull flag there for Tiva above the
NBEV spiking, PBR up, AMD up, NIO up.
Everything up.
Yeah.
It's like expected, man. SPY trying to make that move, those daily moves to resistance.
Yep. Really thinking about PBR just because the risk is so tight here. It's 6 cents. Reward level's 12 cents. Gotta wait for the SPY to slow down some, I think, though. SPY running up like it is. Very easy to get just pushed up here. Risk reward's good, though. Kind of want to take PBR here just because the risk reward's much tighter now. Now it's about 6 cents. Some red showing up on the time and sales. Put the sizing up on the time and sales. Big orders going through.
I actually like PBR in this area now.
I know, that's what I was looking at, man. Right when I say it too, it just drops. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll bounce some a little bit here. All right, I'm in with 175 shares. Risk of 48. Let's see what we get.
It was a good calculated risk there.
Right. I mean, it's a tight risk. That's essentially what we're looking for, and that's what we got. So if it's a loss, it'll be small.
It's not a bad trade.
But yeah, AMD would have been that nice gap and go strategy, Todd, so it would have worked out.
There you go.
Yeah, I get a little drop. I mean, at this point, it's kind of been. Can't think of the word. Just kind of in middle ground here. Kind of depends on what the SPY does as well. Regardless, though, I accepted the risk on it. It's a pretty tight risk. If it stops me out, it'll be like a pretty small loss.
Yeah, it
overall.
Looks good, brother.
Yeah, it's looking weaker. SPY dropping some for it as well, which is good. Kind of what you want to see. Only problem is I wish I would have gotten it up at like 43 or so. Um, I think 43 would have been a little bit better. There's 44s bouncing off of that support here. It's got to break under 38, 39, 40 or so to really look good. There's 45s. SPY completely bouncing back here. Going up on the dip. Same thing with a lot of these right now. Yeah, for sure. I think it was a little kind of going against the market a little bit. It's the risk reward was too good for me to ignore, but I definitely can see everything else is kind of green right now.
I mean, in the 5 minute, I could see a pullback coming to the VWAP here for the SPY, and if you get that motion, you should get that reversal. But it wasn't a bad trade, I think.
No, I mean the risk reward's good. That's all we need. If it works
Yep.
half the time, then we're good, you know. And so it'll be profitable in the long run if it works half the time. It's just about, you know, you get a random distribution of wins and losses in the market, and that's kind of what we see. And so risk reward was good. For that reason, I took it. No stress either way. It'd be small
So,
loss. I took it with small size just because didn't want to risk it with the market being so green like it's been. But like I said, regardless of which way, I mean, risk reward was good. Accept the risk. That's all you can do. It's gonna be a tiny loss if it is a loss anyway. SPY pushing, about to break the high. We probably get a push in this. It'll probably stop me out here. Just from looking at what the SPY's doing. There's the push. We should get a push in this now. Breaking the high of the day on the SPY. I mean, oh, and to be optimistic here, I mean, at least the market's good. You know, I know you're kind of the counter direction, but at least the market's looking all right.
yep. There you go. Like that rejection there.
Still too early. The SPY got rejected, is what happened. So it's still a little early, but it just depends. If the SPY continues pushing, this might continue pushing back up as well. And so there's the SPY push, rebounded, just a quick little dip in the SPY, and now it's back up to running. So maybe that high of the day will turn into major resistance, but we'll see. SPY back up, and PBR back up. SPY testing the whole dollar of 249 now.
All right, I'm you trying to crack that VWAP.
AMD falling down some.
There you go.
Just a little bit mini pullback in the SPY. The SPY is still testing that whole dollar is what's going on. Um,
Got a nice triple top on that 1 minute.
oh yeah, on PBR.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually like it now.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, the SPY's pulling back hard here, which is what we wanted to see. Uh, it's just what the SPY does. 248.50 or so is what I'm watching on the SPY.
All right, I'm gonna watch to see if 47s are gonna reject now. That'd get me interested in this trade with you, brother. You see,
Yeah,
like
it's down
that.
to
That's
44s.
what
I
I want to
mean,
see.
like I said, I would have liked my entry to be at 43 when it was up there, but the risk was tight either way. With 42 entry, like I got, the risk was still tight. And like I said, SPY bouncing off of 248.50 like I would expect it to. Just depends on what it does here. SPY bouncing back, PBR bouncing back. Looks like it's definitely going to stop me out here, I think. At least the way the chart looks, it looks strong. There's 248. If it gets to 249, I'm out. Which it very well might right here.
Lots of volume in the 46 and 47 range.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting bottomed up again.
Yeah, for sure. There's 249s. I'm out.
Yep.
Broke the high of the day. Don't want to
This is
toy
how
with
it
it now.
goes. Oh, stock's holding well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a green day today. At least thus far. Not many fade opportunities, I don't think. Yeah, there's AMD spike. SPY breaking the high of the day. Small loss. I've had 3 green days this week. Or no. Maybe 2 green, 2 red. Overall, a break even. Very break even week. Mr. Charts.
uh, the worst part is I probably see myself doing the same thing.
I have some weird dreams, man. Dreams are weird. Dreams are mysterious, you know. The weird thing about dreams is that you never remember them. Your brain. But what a dream is, though, is like, if you know what a dream is. How mad, man. I'm sorry, brother, but I gotta laugh at you a little bit, man.
WPM looking interesting there. We need one more bounce back to VWAP here,
Right.
35s, and you can risk off of 40s.
Right, man. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Eric. Like, calm down, Hamed. Calm down, brother. You know, it's like it's his first time here. He's telling everybody to buy this, sell that, do this. Like, yeah, you were right about it, brother. Good job, man. You know, calm down a little bit. I
Getting
opened.
excited. That's all, brother. Getting excited.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at DBBT. That one's kind of hit the bed. It's kind of trading against the market.
NIO maybe for VWAP reject. We've been talking about this strategy here, guys.
Man,
Let's
look at
see
it
what would
tank.
be our risk to reward. We try to get in the 22s. We could risk as simply up there to the 24s, 2 cent risk for a 7 cent return. It's not bad. WPM looking really negative here. This chart looks good to me to attack. Need one more bounce to attack it. 36s off of 40s.
But yeah, I mean, with PBR, it's like, listen, I saw the stock market heading up. The risk reward was just too good. And so if it works half the time, it'll be profitable in the long run. Just because risk was 6 cents, reward was 12. And so that's why I took PBR. And it just didn't work out, you know. I don't really see much wrong with it. Maybe trading against the overall market wasn't the best idea, but the risk reward was just there. It was too pretty. USB. So I just bought this student account a month ago, maybe. I'm down a little bit, but I've been trying to scale up in sizing. And so Monday I'm looking to go with 500 shares, and so that's kind of where I'm at now. But the account, I'm down a little bit on the account now. But like I said, I just opened it like a month ago. But yeah, hey, if you go through my link, I appreciate it, brother. Um,
NIO, that VWAP reject there. Possibility here.
yeah, Isaac, man, I've really been rating. Yeah, man, I've really been trying to scale up in sizing, man. It's kind of time to scale up in sizing. It's just, it's a process, and with the holiday and all the off days we've had in the last 2 weeks, I haven't really wanted to take larger sizing with this market the way it's been. Not even the market, just with the holidays and the slow trading and traders being on vacation. And so I figure Monday's a good day to start.
There's NIO right to my level for the VWAP reject.
Yeah, Hamed, I don't know if you really understand the way stocks work, Hamed, because the first thing is that Apple's a pretty high float stock, right? So like for instance, even if we all bought the stock in this room here, which don't do, but even if we did, um, it still wouldn't make Apple move in any significant way because it's an expensive stock. The float's pretty big. Let me see what the float is on Apple. And so it's that's just let me see. Hold on. Anybody know the float of Apple?
It's pretty high up there.
Yeah, right. I'm thinking it's pretty high. I mean, it's Apple, you know. I'm sure there's lots of outstanding shares available. Yeah, it's something crazy. Let me see. I don't want to
There's
see.
a hard tank on a lot of stocks. I think we're finally getting up to that resistance there on the SPY.
Yeah, it's four. Sorry, Mitch.
No, you're
Uh,
fine.
okay, I was just gonna say Apple's float is 4.74 billion. Okay, and so what that means is that's a huge float. And even if everybody in here bought Apple, it wouldn't make Apple move. Why won't it make Apple move? Is because there's billions of shares out there. And so, 200 shares from everybody in this channel isn't even going to make it move at all. And so that's why I'm saying I don't know if you really understand what you're saying, Hamed, because first of all, that's illegal. Second of all, it is not likely that even if everybody in this room bought Apple, that it would make Apple move at all because the float is so big. And so, you know, I get it. You're in Apple. You want to become a millionaire. I get it, but it's not gonna. That's not gonna work. If you tell your friends to buy Apple, we can reach to that number. Uh, yeah. Here, I'm sorry, Hamed, but you don't know what you're talking about, brother. Yeah, I don't think he understands. Here, I can mute him. Yeah, we're gonna put him in timeout. There you go.
NIO looked good there for that VWAP reject.
Yeah, I'm looking at NIO. It's just it would have kind of stopped us out already at 622 or so.
No,
NBEV maybe for a reject here. I like NBEV a little bit more with a 5 cent risk reward target down at 40. I don't mind that one.
I don't think we would have got stopped out. I think it would have been 624 the risk, 622 the entrance.
Yeah, don't worry about Hamed. He was telling everybody to buy Apple, and that if we all bought Apple, then we would all be rich. Is what he's saying.
When it
That's
was at
why,
$99 maybe.
right, for sure. I mean, I would love to buy Apple down there.
Hey, you give it to me at $99, I'll take them right now.
If I could go back in time, I would buy tons of Apple stock right before the iPhone came out, like in 2005. That would be.
I mean, when they hit that 100 point, I really won't. I was telling, I mean, I was in school at the time, but I was telling everyone this is the time. Next thing you know, Apple went up to 120 in the next couple of days.
Hey, you were like a mini Warren Buffett.
Oh, I was feeling
Doing
it.
it,
It was
doing
just,
it.
it just, to me, I think $100 is a very, very technical level.
Oh, for sure. It's kind of like $1 if it's like a cheap stock. Like
Yep.
$1,
I'm
$100.
seeing
They're always
hard
like that
rejects
minimum.
here, guys. Hard rejects there. Looks like the market's finding that resistance there.
That's nothing, Todd. I went long in Apple 20 billion. I mean, I know the float's only 4.7 billion, but I went 20 billion because I have friends, and so that's all I'm saying.
All right, looking at PBR, I think that's a good possibility. If we
Look,
are going to get this turnaround here, we can use that 49 level right there.
look at that. Remember I said NBEV VWAP projection at 550. Look at that beautiful thing, man. Down to 540 is what I said, but look at that thing, man. Look at it go, bro. That was perfect for a VWAP projection on NBEV. Right at 550. But yeah, if anybody wants to go through my link, you can go through my TradeNet link and get 10% off TradeNet packages. If you want to use the broker Mitch and I are using, we're using Tefs, which is TradeNet's broker. They have their pros and cons, but I enjoy using them because anything that I can trade, I can short, and commissions are really, really cheap. And so if you're interested in checking them out, I just posted the link. I know we had somebody in here talking about maybe using TradeNet. Biggest flaw for TradeNet, though, if you're going to use TradeNet, the biggest thing you need to understand is that certain stocks are not tradable. That certain penny stocks are not tradable. So, like, if you're a penny stock trader, I wouldn't recommend TradeNet just because you're not going to have much options. But if you're a trader like me who trades stocks in between like $5 and $20, then typically there's a bunch of decent options to trade.
All right. Seems like we're going to get maybe a VBAP reject, maybe APHA.
Did you see NBEV?
Yeah, I was watching that one. I saw the kill candle. I think it looks better now relative to that first kill candle because I would want to have gotten closer to that 50 mark. But it looked interesting there when it dropped down below VWAP.
AKER. Back in the day, huh? Yeah, man. I remember trading AKER on Ustock Trade. I believe is what I traded it on. I traded a lot of penny stocks on Ustock Trade. So they restricted some of them, but I remember trading a bunch of them. It was fun, man. I enjoyed it. I remember AKER. I remember Cedril,
All
SDRL.
right. All right, guys. This is getting really into getting close to taking a trade here. Looking at PBR, going to see it run here to 49. If it rejects off that 49, we start getting this kind of reversal back down to the downside. I'm going to attack this stock as it has a good range, good ability to judge risk here on this stock. Extend it on the daily, actually, and we could get this move back down to the 14s. Let's see if we get a triple top on the SPY and then a rejection. So we got in a top at this 24.56 level, 24.956. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here for this PBR. Been holding these levels, trying to break out, If it can't break out, it should break down here.
But yeah, if you want to see what TradeNet looks like, they're like TradeNet's platform. I use Thinkorswim charts, but if you want to see what TradeNet's platform looks like, this is what it does. Well, TEF's platform is what Mitch is using. Not a bad platform, really. I mean, I tend to prefer Thinkorswim, but TEF's isn't a bad platform either.
I mean, it's kind of like this. I really got used to the DOS
Right.
kind of platform, and this is as similar to DOS as you kind of get.
Exactly.
It's very generic looking.
There's something about it though. Like I love DOS. Like DOS is probably it. I love Thinkorswim charts better than all of it, but the entire platform as a package, I love the DOS platform, and that's why I like SureTrader because the DOS platform was legit. I love it. Really easy for a trader to learn on.
Definitely, gotten to the point where I'm like, I wonder how the SureTrader life is. Do we have anybody that trades with us that's on SureTrader? Anyone out there using that SureTrader life? All right, rejection off that 48 level.
Yeah, Thinkorswim is free. It depends. Like, so I've heard different things. Like, I deposited $20 into a TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim account 2 years ago, and I'm still getting live real-time quotes, live real-time news, and everything from Thinkorswim 2 years later. And so I think it's free. I think you have to request it, and you have to sign 2 contracts confirming you're not a professional investment guy. But if you do that, then you get real-time quotes, and it's free, I believe. I think that it's free. I think on demand, you can't use on demand though. Yeah, I mean, SureTrader has its uses, right? Like, that's why this is the thing. I think it's funny when people hate on TradeNet, right? Like, they hate on TradeNet. They talk all the smack about TradeNet and stuff, but then they use SureTrader, which is like the founder of SureTrader was indicted for stock fraud, and then they don't say anything about SureTrader, but they just hate on TradeNet, and so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you actually understand the market and you're looking at it objectively, SureTrader's a little sketchy too. But the only problem with SureTrader, like my pet peeve with SureTrader is that it's too expensive. Like the platform's $150. Commissions are like $15 a trade. For no matter the share size. Level 2's extra. And it's just expensive. The deposit options are expensive. That's my biggest pet peeve with SureTrader is that it's just expensive for a new trader to try to make it work. Like I said, my biggest pet peeve with TradeNet is that certain penny stocks aren't tradable, and so they all have their pros and cons.
All right, here's where it's getting interesting, guys. Starting to see that downturn in the SPY.
Yeah, NBEV for another little rejection there. Didn't look bad that second time. Got up to 46.
All right, guys, I'm short there. Short off of 49 here. 49 is going to be the risk there, 6 cent risk. Looking for this to get back down to 14.39s and below that. And then after that, going to go for that 14.36 mark, 14.31s.
What's your risk? Sorry.
It's going to be right above here, above that 48. So 49 would get me out.
Moving on up to 600 shares, huh?
Yep.
Moving on up.
Moving on up.
Yep. Jefferson's, brother. The Jeffersons, man.
That's all you can do.
My family. Yeah, I used to watch the Jeffersons and all that stuff on Nick at Night when I was like 10. Who's Jerome? Inflation stable. He's talking about inflation stable, job wage solid. Isaac giving us up-to-date news here. Let's hear it. Fed Reserve.
WPM looking interesting also. If I wasn't in this one, I like that stock. The way it's just been holding on the downside, super extended.
All right, so let's see. So financial volatility increased. Financial is not supporting growth. Did not change the outlook. All right, we're getting some news for the market. Growth projection is healthy level. Unemployment is solid. That's good. Sounds like it's pretty good news thus far. I mean, the outlook didn't change. Yeah,
All
AZ. I typically use on demand with like my old watch list. Like if you go to my Twitter, I posted a watch list every day for like the last year and a half. And so when I'm using on demand, I just kind of go back to my old watch list and use that. Interest rate short term is up 0.25.
right, guys, don't want to see this stock now hold above VWAP. Wanted to start coming below the VWAP. I'm going to use this support line that it has right here, 44. So now 46 is going to be my out. I'm looking to get this right, to hold these levels here.
There you
Get
go.
this down to the 36s, take some profit, and then look for this back move down to 31s and below.
WTF. Or WFT, sorry.
Putting out an order to cover at 36 here. 36 as this moves down.
Yeah, WFT has just dropped so much, and now it's up to 48. It still looks pretty weak on the daily chart, but it has some room on the upside, I think, for WFT. Still, it's kind of penny stocks. It's not really my specialty, so just kind of giving you my 2 cents on it. I don't hate MBEV here with a 550 risk. Especially if the SPY starts to drop some more. Which we just got. SPY dropping, you should get a downward move now on PBR.
All right.
Just depends on if the SPY continues to head down. There you go.
There you go.
SPY dropping. You should get some more movement here. There you go. Like I said, there's the drop. SPY may bounce here. It just depends on if it holds under.
All right, guys. Took 300 there. Took 300 there, guys. Have 300 shares left. Looking for this next move down to the low of day, which is 31s. Or I'll take 200 more and leave 100 to play.
Yeah. Good trade.
Just being a little patient, I think, today is what's really paying off here.
Yeah, I think with mine, I guess I could have set a 50-cent risk instead of 49. I think that it would have messed up my risk reward ratio and it wouldn't have looked as good, but I'd probably still be in it. So it is what it is. But it looks pretty good for you right now. Especially, I think it's probably going to get down to that 1430 level now for you to take another partial. What's your okay? You have 300 shares left.
Yep, 300 shares left.
SPY bouncing some here. We'll see if Todd's right.
Ooh, look at that WPM. I said that daily chart looks to support that move. It gets below those 1925s with a big seller that's in front of it in the 930s. I can make a pretty hard, significant move down here. Now we're gonna hold off of this 1944. That's the support.
Big rebound on the SPY. Did something else come out with it that said positive news? Big rebound.
Yep, strong rebound there.
Yeah, wow, look at the SPY rebound. What happened? Look at that thing go now. Crazy.
Yes.
Pull up the SPY on the daily chart down there. All right, buddy. Hold on. I'll get your mom.
Forgot they're connected. All right, guys. With that rebound being so strong, it's about to break the high of day. I got to watch out, guys, here. Don't want it above my entry. 44s will get me out. I'm just going to get out of this position. You guys take that little gain. It's not much, but I need to protect myself here. Seeing way too much market action go against me and not trying to just pressure, especially if I was looking for what we call a pattern breakdown play. This was a VWAP reject. I got in at a good place, just didn't take the full profits down there at 36, was looking for that move down to 431s. And just going to take that $15. Just let it go. Showed way too much volume. Did you see the volume get into? Not something I like to see there. Yeah, super strong move on almost every stock there.
Right. Well, look at the SPY, man. It's a crazy move up, man. I've seen it before, but man, the SPY just a absolutely really strong move up. Look at this. Yeah, I've never this is a huge move. Look at the volume coming in the millions. I thought the results were bad. So crazy move up there, man.
Sometimes you get kind of the opposite really quick. Kind of they try to do a quick emotional move, and we're gonna see if it comes and just slams right back down, or if it had something that was already into the market, already weighed in.
Yeah, man, that was a big move up. I mean, I know you got stopped out. I mean, I think it's good news for the U.S. stock market, but man, I wasn't expecting that. I was expect it looked pretty weak down to
Yeah,
248. So
it looked like we were going to get another washout. So
right,
I think I played it right. I just,
yeah, no,
just
you
ran into a different, different animal.
right, yeah, you stuck to your plan well and followed it well and got out, protected yourself on it. So you did good, man. But Powell said data's still solid, but Fed will likely pause and move nimbly and quickly if needed. Market likes it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to take off interest rates, they can fix what's been happening.
Well, I thought interest rates went up, right? They went up
Yeah,
more
they
than
went
25%.
they need to lower them. They're too high now. At one point, they were too low when Obama was president, and now they're way too high.
EM, we are following the news, brother. That's what we're doing, man. Like, that's kind of what everybody said down here.
If you look at bond yields, it'll let you know kind of the sentiment. I always like to look at the overall market, and then you look at the bonds, and you can tell between bonds and the overall market. Then you can create a theory on where's the big money.
Yeah, so I was just typing this out, Oda. So TVIX is an inverse volatility ETF, right? And it does the opposite of what the SPY does. And so when you get a big move like this on the SPY going up, you'll get a big move down on the TVIX. And so that's what you get here. Same thing with UVXY, exactly the same ETF base, which you get a big downward move here with a big move up on the SPY. And so that's kind of what we get.
Yeah. Stock that looks interesting. Just more on the long side, maybe MRIN, but way too small in volume. A lot of stocks are getting that drive right now with the SPY.
Yep.
Getting that big drive there.
Clay, I think you're wrong, man. I don't think he bought 5 billion. I think he probably bought 10 billion. I mean, like I said, I think there's only 5.75 billion shares available to the public, but I think, Ahmed sounded legit, and I think he knows people, so I think he could get an extra 5 billion easy. So, that's all I'm saying.
It was all Ahmed's fault.
All right, man. He bought Apple, man. He bought Apple. It just moved the market up.
Oh, life is good, man. Life is good.
I think he got mad and left. I put him in timeout for 5 minutes. I think he got mad.
I'm sure he doesn't like you.
Right, he was the real deal, Eric. I don't know if I've ever seen a more real trader in the world.
Hey, man. Some people don't like me.
Right. I think he's the realest dude ever, man. I mean, I think the reason the SPY is up is because Ahmed went long.
I'm a bully, man. I'm a bully.
Isaac, we suck. He predicted the future. $2 since he joined the channel.
Hey.
I know. Appreciate the sub, Mister Junior Ron.
Hey, maybe you got to do like what I do in sometimes sports betting. I find someone that I really don't like in sports betting, and I just play the opposite to what they bet.
Right.
It's called fading a person. Hashtag fade Mitch and John.
NBEV, let's look at a rejection here, dude. Look at this. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of risky doing anything with the SPY like it's doing. But NBEV here, tight risk, 550. Reward level 535 or so. If it gets up to 550, it's good.
I mean, it's holding those 250s, bro. It hasn't even come back to the actual whole dollar of 250. And that's what scared me immediately. I told you guys, I had a resistance drawn there at 250. It didn't come to it. It rejected it 3 times and started coming back down. That's when I went short. When it bounced off that VWAP, I got scared. As it broke the high, I already knew that I couldn't hold my stock over my average.
Yeah.
It's a complete what we call trend reversal. And if it a complete trend reversal will go to kind of make a reversal move and then out of nowhere go right back to those highs and break them.
Yeah.
If it rejected off the highs, I wouldn't have been that scared and I would have held probably a little bit, a couple cents higher. But it just completely turning around and breaking that high immediately, just with a rush of volume, yeah, that's when you got to be careful. NIO looks interesting there, but I mean, I don't even know what you call that pattern.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to short anything right now, not with the market doing this. But what Todd said was true. Todd said you can always tell fake traders when they want to be right. It's not about being right. It's about finding the best setups, managing your risk, and following your plan. Who cares? Yeah, for
Man,
sure,
that
man.
guy's smart, man. Someone
I
give
mean,
that guy some money.
right. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I get people in here all the time, and I get people in the stream all the time, and they tell me, buy this random stock, buy it. And then if I don't, they say, why didn't you buy it? You know, how dare you not buy the stock from me, a random internet person? You know what I mean? And it's like, look, I appreciate the thought, but I'm not going to follow some random internet person, you know? And you get people in here all the time, and one thing I've learned about the market is that nobody's right or wrong, you know, like it's all subjective. You get a random distributions of wins and losses in the market, and if you backtest your strategy and it works, then you know you're not doing anything wrong. um, Now it all depends on a few different factors, but you know the truth in the market is that any strategy can work with anybody. You know, you get a lot of traders who think that their strategy is the only way, and that if you trade something different aside from their strategy, then you're wrong, and that they're going to tell you that you're terrible and you're bad or whatever they want to say. But what I've learned in the market is that any strategy can work for anybody. You know, it just depends on how you actually approach it. You there, Mitch? Did we lose you? Did my volume go out? Can you guys hear Mitch? Maybe it was my headphones. Let me see. Oh, no, Mitch is muted. Okay. But yeah, I'm definitely probably not going to short right now. I just don't think the market is good for it. But man, that is a crazy move on the SPY though. So interest rates went up, forecast stayed the same. Let's see if we can find any info on the SPY and why it's acting like it is. Let's see. I appreciate the sub, Sweet and Algo. Appreciate it, guys. Mitch is loud. John is a little soft today. Yeah, man.
All right.
Oh, here, let me fix this. There we go. All right, you get a lot of stuff popping up with the scanners. You got Dish, HEWJ, Vail,
That dish boy? That dish?
Dish on Demand.
Hey, lots of volume in dish. Lots and lots of volume.
Exactly, Jack. Like that's the way to do it, man. I mean, you got to be independent as a trader. I think the trading world is filled with people who advertise and follow other traders, right? Like they advertise like, "Hey, I'm going to give you the best picks ever," you know, and it makes traders kind of reliant on them. And I think you just got to kind of learn everything yourself and work with it yourself, and not try to copy other people. You can use somebody else's strategy as long as you back test it, but copying somebody trade for trade, I think that's the reason some people get upset here, is because they try to copy us trade for trade, have a losing trade, and then blame it on us. When the reality is like I always say, like Mark Douglas said, you get a random distribution of wins and losses, and sometimes it's going to be beneficial for you, sometimes it's not. But in the end, if it's a profitable strategy, it'll even itself out, and you'll be good.
Woohoo! Dishy dish.
Yeah, man, that's what I was saying.
That price action right there.
Hey, appreciate it, Sweet Red. I just subscribed, new at trading, and looking for inspiration. I think starting with you would be a great help. Yeah, I mean, Sweet Trade, what we try to do here is like we just try to be honest with people. Like we do this live, like we day trade live every day on this stream, and so we do it live. We don't hide anything, and I think it's gonna be hard for you to find somebody else that does what we do here. Meaning the transparency. I think everybody else hides their account balance. They hide their profit and loss. They don't stream every day. They cherry pick their winners and upload them, and I think that's just kind of the YouTube world. And so I think you came to the right place, but we appreciate the support and welcome you here for sure.
It's not seeing anything out there really. I mean, APHA looks kind of good, but I mean, the range is nothing. Nothing to want to go after.
I mean, we're kind of looking at NBEV, but all depends on what the SPY does here. I don't know if the SPY is going to keep heading up, but
I'm
kind of
looking
like
at
NBEV.
WPM because the risk is just so well defined.
Which one? WPM?
Yeah, because if the market kind of goes towards our way, comes down with this pattern, it should hold that 40 level really well. Keeps holding that level, just rejecting off that 40, rejecting off that 40. But
Yeah. Yeah, Isaac, we got a lot of people here, man. The channel's growing for sure, brother. And it's something like, my trading is a random distributions of wins and losses for sure. It's just some months are better than others. This last month has been kind of so-so, but like October and November were really good months. So it's just kind of I don't know if a downswing. It's really been kind of a break-even swing right now. Like this week was break-even. I think last week was roughly break-even too. Yeah, everybody wants money. Everybody wants easy money is the way to put it, Jack. Everybody wants easy money. Nobody wants to put in the work. Everybody wants to copy everybody else's trades and then get mad when it doesn't work.
look at that 15-minute chart for the market overall. It's a good storyline of the market the last couple of days. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt I'll get in anything else today.
The SPY gets over 252. I'm going to wait for it to get in the 258s. And I'm going to play an option.
Hmm.
This bad boy's coming back down, man. Just looks 100% correct to me. Is WPM breaking out of its downward pattern? Definitely not really seeing anything to short.
Yeah, me neither.
The only thing you're going to have right now is long patterns. You get a nice pattern on AMD because you can use a support of 815. I would take that stock somewhere in the 818s, 820s off of 815. It's not a bad one if you're looking for that extension. But I think it's kind of one of these days where we're getting towards 9:39 here, not really seeing anything else. Much rather end the day just paying some commissions, making these $15, and
For
continue
sure.
on looking for those big trades. It's one
Yep.
of the biggest things of this year is you guys might see me not take so many trades, but when I do get into my trades, I'm going to be swinging hard, 600 shares for right now until I get a good lead, and then I'm going to be pushing into the 800 shares.
Yeah, I'm going with 500 next week.
No.
But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, go check out TradeNet if you're interested in signing up and using the broker that Mitch and I are using. Like I said, I mean, TradeNet is kind of like a prop firm. You pay for a package, and with that, they give you a certain amount of buying power. So for the cheapest package is the intro package. They give you 14K in buying power with a $700 max loss. Um, and so there is a profit split. It's good for shorters that trade stocks that are over $5. If you're a penny stock trader, it's probably not for you. But cheap commissions equal out to about 0.0075 a round trip. But if you're using less than 2 or 300 shares, it's usually about $3 total for a complete round trip. And so if you're interested in checking them out, I'll post the link here as well. Go check them out. Also, shout out to Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is cool enough to let me stream these scans every day. Really awesome dynamic scanner, really customizable, lets me do a lot of different stuff. And so if you want to use the scanner I'm using, check out Trade Ideas. I just posted that link as well. Yeah, man, I think really, like I said, T America, I think he's going to go up to 6 billion. I think 3 billion is pretty small for him. Let's be real here. I think it's 3 billion's kind of baby moves for him, and so I think 6 billion's about normal, and so we'll see what we get there as well. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day, and yeah, we'll see you all Monday. Excited to move up in sizing a little bit. Hopefully, the market is beneficial for it, and we will see.
Yeah, what you guys don't know is that Ahmed took that trade on Sure Trader, and he's paying a penny per share.
Yeah.
He's paying a penny per share. He just paid $3 billion to make one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good day. Have a happy weekend. We will see you all Monday. Good luck. Be careful. Market's kind of crazy right now. And
Yep.
yeah, we'll see what we get. Yeah, I mean, I was saying NBEV doesn't look bad, Danny. Like 550 risk, super tight. If the market, it just depends on what the market does, right? If the market starts to run up more here, then it's probably going to hit that. But if the market dives some, gives back some of these gains, then I think we'll see a drop here on NBEV. But it didn't look terrible. I almost took it, but probably just going to stay patient. Don't want to short anything with this crazy
What I
market.
see out there is just that a lot of those trades are like 5 cent risks for 10 cent rewards. And I just want a little bit more range in my stocks.
For
I'm
sure.
trying to get into that kind of 10 cent risk for a 30 cent gain.
Right.
And, if it's just going to be a 2 to 1 and a very, very tight 2 to 1, it's not really my interested trade. It's not the trade I want to tackle.
For sure. And I get that too. It's a bigger range, more commissions, and just not worth it sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you all a little bit later. There's the TradeNet link one more time. I know somebody asked about it, but good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all Monday. I'll try to put a video out this weekend. It's been a while since I uploaded like a video on the weekend. It's been kind of hectic and busy, so I'll try to put one out. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all a little bit later.